From the Business Radio X studios in Woodstock, Georgia, it's time for Cherokee Business Radio.
Welcome back to Cherokee Business Radio. I'm your host, Joshua Kornitsky, professional EOS implementer, and I've got a great guest here in the studio today. But before we get to that, let me just let you know that today's episode is brought to you in part by the Community Partners Program, the Business Radio X Main Street Warriors, defending capitalism, promoting small business, and supporting our local community. For more information, go to mainstreetwarriors.org. And a special note of thanks to our title sponsor for the Cherokee chapter of Main Street Warriors, Diesel David Inc. Please go check them out at dieseldavid.com. So as I said, I've got a really special guest in the studio here today. I'm really excited to introduce Tiffany Collins. She's the founder of Happy Tears Cat Rescue. It's a grassroots organization. It's a nonprofit dedicated to fostering, saving, and rehoming cats from across Cherokee County and beyond. And really what began as a single rescue quickly turned into a mission fueled by compassion and persistence. Today, Tiffany balances a demanding career with leading a volunteer-driven rescue operation that's changing lives one cat at a time. Welcome, Tiffany. I'm really happy to have you here today.
Oh, my God. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So let's begin at the beginning. I always like to ask for what I call the origin story, right? What brought you to this place in your life where Happy Tears, which is an unusual name I'm going to ask about too, where Happy Tears Cat Rescue became the driving thing in your daily life?
Yes. Thank you for asking. And, you know, I was always a dog person. I always had dogs. But then I say I'm really always an animal person. So what led me to, you know, having a cat was total accident. I got a cat, and that's what kind of made me start seeing cats.
Okay.
And seeing cats was just almost like I'd never seen them before. Although I know they exist. My mother is the hugest cat lover ever.
Okay.
So I guess what started was, you know, again, I'm babysitting a cat, and this is where the accident comes in. My dog, who was 15 years old, his name was Trooper. He was a Pekingese.
Okay.
And I'd had 2 Pekingeses in my life as an adult. Those were my pets. And the next thing I know, my friend is, during the pandemic, adopting a cat. She's in an apartment. She is saying, I'm lonely. It's the pandemic. You know, I can't have a dog. I love dogs, but I think I'm going to get a cat. I went with her to the shelter, and we got to looking at kitties. She found one, and it's the funniest thing was the cat seemed to like me a lot.
Really?
And
yes. You weren't there. You were just the guest.
Heck no.
You were just
I'm
the
allergic to cats.
To keep her. Oh, really? Okay.
I am, which makes everything is so crazy about this whole story.
Okay.
There's so many things we could probably talk this whole time about how crazy this is. But the kitty, you know, its name was Julia inside the shelter. And my friend kept the name Julia. And I thought,
some names just fit.
But, you know, do you really love a kitty if you don't name it yourself? And I have an old boss named Julia who I absolutely adore, but I would never keep the name Julia for.
Sure.
So this was kind of like, very telling to me. Although, you know, she gets the cat home. The cat has little quirks about it. I thought they all came out potty trained and used a litter box, but this one was partially using the litter box sometimes and partially not. And my friend was so frustrated. And when she decided, I got to go to India, can you babysit this cat for me? And my dog was at the end of his life and had about a month left to live.
This is your Pekingese Trooper.
Yes. And he was 15 years old, so he lived a long, beautiful life. But my friend goes out of the country, and I'm babysitting this cat. And I'm posting on social media constantly, like, look at this cat, look at this cat. Everybody's like, you're falling in love, Tiffany. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I literally was the last person to know.
Isn't that always the way? And,
yes.
And how did the dog feel about the cat?
Oh, he hated her. Okay. And she hated him.
Certain things are universal truths.
Absolutely. And, you know, it was just weird seeing the cat greet me at the door and things that my dog used to be able to do, but he was so sick that he couldn't. And it's like, so my friend's over in India, and she never once called me to say, how's the kitty doing in 5 weeks. I always had to tell her. So that was also very telling to me. So little
I think
Julia,
you were set up.
I swear to God. And so the next thing I know, I am like thinking, I need to ask her, does she like this cat? Because I want it out of my house. And really, seriously.
Okay.
At least I thought I did.
Right.
And so she and I cried over the phone together. We had this great conversation, and I said, you haven't checked on the cat. You're not trying to hurry up and come back home. And her family's in India. She doesn't get to go much. I mean,
sure. So she was there.
She really
family time.
Yes. And she wanted to stay longer because she could. And so,
Well, sure. She's got somebody watching her cat.
Yeah. Well, she ended up not coming back for 5 months.
Oh, wow.
So, but I actually said, let's go ahead and take this cat back to the shelter. And if not, I can find it a home. I'll try to find it a home. Again, I'm no rescue girl. I'm a dog girl.
Okay.
So this happened.
I'm waiting to see where this goes.
Yes. And so the next thing I know, somebody comes over. They're interested in the kitty. And my friend and I both are on board that if I find somebody great, they can take the cat. Well, they left. And I called my mother, who's the huge cat lover, and she's in Louisiana. And I said, Mom, I'm so excited. Somebody wants this cat. And then she goes, really? Who? And when she said that, I could not breathe. I could not talk. I was crying. And I was so upset. I wanted this cat. And I did not
talking about Julia, the cat.
Yes.
Oh,
Julia.
So at this point, do you still have Julia?
Julia is my cat, and her name is Kiki.
Okay, so Julia and Kiki, you never were able to put her out.
No.
To adoption, not put her out.
No.
So it turns out you fell in love.
I was so in love with her, and that's what started it really for me. It started me being a cat person, but I'm also a person that only had one pet ever as an adult, one at a time. Like I didn't want to pay double vet bills. I didn't want to, double everything up. And having a cat was so much easier. And I thought, wow, I'm going to get a second one. And this is kind of what started me on my journey.
Okay.
Because I met some people. I went to a body shop to get my truck fixed, and there were 17 cats in the parking lot.
Like literally, that's not an exaggeration
17.
Of a bunch.
Somebody argued that there was only 11, but this lady, no, I counted 17. It was a sight to see for me because now I have a cat, and now I'm starting to see them more. So I see this pile of cats, and I asked the body shop owner, I'm like, what's going on out here? And he says, you want one? And I was like, well, I already have a cat. And I didn't know what people do about this stuff. And so I went to our local Facebook page, Cherokee Connect, here in Woodstock.
Right.
And I just made a post and took pictures of these cats. And I said, can anybody help these cats? They look like there's pizza on the ground. I mean, these people were just feeding them junk food. And
right.
So I want everybody to be spoiled like my baby, And so I found some trappers who do TNR, which is trap, neuter, return.
Okay.
So they trap them, they go get them fixed, and they put them right back where they were. So these people said, yeah, we'll help. Would you like to learn how to help? And would you like to learn how to do this? And
these are the trappers?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I was like, not really. I don't trap animals, but this one girl said, come do it with me. You'll get addicted. And I was like, I'm not going to I'm going to cry when I see a cat in a trap, Sure. But sure as she told me, I saw the cats getting trapped, and I thought, oh my gosh, they just run in for the food in the trap. It closes gently.
No scariness, no harm.
No. I mean, they're definitely scared, but they have no reason to be scared.
Right.
And then you cover the trap up with a blanket.
To calm them.
Yes. And so I started doing that, and my thing was I probably did that for several months, but I would cry every time we'd put them back out. I was like, I don't want them to go back out. I'm glad they're fixed.
Right.
So I wanted to turn the R in return. I wanted to change that to rescue for me. I don't want to return them. I want to rescue them. And so my friends even said, gosh, we spend so much of our own money doing this stuff. And, they've been doing it for years, just trapping cats. And some of them said, we've always wanted to start a nonprofit, but we just never have. And I said, well, let's do it.
It takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
It does. And, for some reason, I'm the only one in the group that says, let's do it.
Well, I know a little bit about you from our initial discussion, and it's up to you whether you want to talk about the other things you do in your life, but you do seem like a highly organized person.
I am. I'm an executive assistant. So I've been doing that for 30 years. So
you're used to handling the day-to-day and all of the things that have to get done and juggling 11 balls in 6 countries.
Absolutely. And
so I feel like the universe set you up.
I think so too. It still freaks me out, but there is a universe doing stuff to people.
So the trappers suggested that, or agreed with you that a nonprofit, I want to let you finish your story, but
Sure.
get so interested.
Yes.
The trappers suggested that they'd always wanted to do a nonprofit, but I take it that you grabbed that concept.
I did, because when they started telling me all the money they've spent out of their own pocket, I don't have that money. I'm paid as an executive assistant. I just don't have that money. And I'm a single woman. I'm not married. There's no second income in my house, but I want to do this and I want to figure it out. And so I just slowly started trying things, and sometimes posting about a cat that we're helping. Strangers were sending me $50 or $100 and thanking me for what I'm doing. And there's all these little things that just kind of put it in motion, because I thought, wait, maybe I can do this. And if people help me and we all work together, I can definitely do this. So it's strange how it all went down, but that was it. So
you became a nonprofit.
Yes.
Now, how long ago was that?
That was 2023. At the end of 2022 is when I started, trapping. And then I started getting serious, I guess, the first quarter of 2023. And by June and July, I was definitely full-fledged nonprofit. Just did the business name. I did all the paperwork, paid the fees, and started the nonprofit.
So why Happy Tears?
Oh my gosh. The first couple times I did some adoptions, I cried like a baby.
Just because of the letting go, or the fact that they had permanent homes now?
Yes, the happy tears were, I looked like I was sad, but I might cry just talking about it, but I just get so happy that it brings tears to my eyes because of what rescuing really means to me, and the adoption part of it especially. It's like, I didn't just do something for the cat. I did something for these people that are adopting. Like, I know what it feels when I get look at me, I'm starting to cry.
I'm not getting a lump in my throat.
Don't feel sorry for me. It's good. This is the happiest thing I've ever done in my life.
This is why it is Happy Tears.
Yes.
So tell us, how has Happy Tears grown? Right,
Mm-hmm.
because it simply started with you. And are you still working with the trappers that you were working with? Or?
Every day I talk to them. We are so close. I talk to all these people more than I ever do my family. And I'm sad to say that.
The family you make along the way.
Well, and if they would help me with the cats, I'd talk to them more,
Fair enough.
Families kind of spread out. And my dad fostered for me recently, and that was really sweet of him. It was a big, big deal. He's allergic to cats, and so for him to help me, it was amazing.
So how, I guess, where did it go? So you've established the nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start, for lack of a better word, collecting cats and for the purpose of saving and rehoming?
Yeah.
Where did you keep them?
Yes. So, you get a shelter license through the Department of Agriculture.
I did not know that.
Yes.
But I presume you knew where to go.
Yes. I had to figure it out too. I was like, how do I do this? How do I do it legally? There's a lot of people that do this kind of stuff and they don't go through the proper channels. But, the Department of Agriculture is who we all report to, so to speak.
Okay.
And, you have your license. They come inspect and they try to see what is your house capable of holding, what makes sense. There's a license that you can get for whatever kind of shelter you have. And I started out with a shelter for 20. I now have a shelter license for 40.
Okay.
Up to 40. And Lord, I have 30 cats in my house right now. But in the beginning,
That's a lot of cats.
I know. I have a 4-bedroom house that I never really used. And
So you've surrendered it to the cats.
Yes. Now I only have a master.
Licensed, legal,
Absolutely.
all above board.
Everything, it doesn't look crazy.
501c3, all of it's nonprofit and real. Just so that everybody knows it's not just one lady with a bunch of cats in her house.
And they're not running amok.
Right.
They're not everywhere. A lot of people look at me funny. But then the people that come to my house and know I have 30, they walk in the front door and they're like, I thought you said you had 30 cats in here. I'm like, they're all contained. There's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms that are, basically dedicated to
Them.
quarantining and then having, kitties right now. I have some sick kitties I have an FIV kitty that's in a bathroom by himself. But my bedrooms are good size. So there could be 8 or 9 cats in a bedroom and there's plenty of room. There's a window, there's trees, there's everything they need.
So how do you help them find their forever homes?
So I don't have a website, but what I do have is petfinder.org.
Okay.
Most rescues use that. That's your online place to adopt animals out. And petfinder.org is amazing. I know 20 years ago, that's where I found my dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so they've been around for a while.
Oh my gosh, forever. And they're a wonderful organization. And, social media really helps me. Happy Tears Feline Foundation is on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And we even recently went viral on TikTok. It was pretty
how
funny.
so?
Yes. So I saved this crazy cat. It was a black cat that was at the Emory University dorm, one of the dorm rooms. Somebody brought it in. Long story short, somebody brought it into their dorm after they took it to the emergency room. And I think this kid, it was Mother's Day weekend, which is when school's ending for everybody. They're moving out of the dorms.
Right.
And so this kid brings a carrier into the dorm to try to get the cat into it for a rescue that was going to help him. And the rescue didn't get that cat. The kid couldn't get the cat. The cat went absolutely crazy. And so Mother's Day weekend, I'm on a long text thread with 20 people. Nobody has time to go get this kitty. And I thought, well, I don't have anything to do. And it was raining. It was a crazy day. And I went over to Emory, went in this dorm room. I saw this boy. And he was so sweet. I just couldn't believe how kind he was as a student, a young student, helping a kitty. He even took it. He took it to the vet and paid the vet bill. And I know how much an emergency vet bill is.
Yes.
As
sadly, so do I.
I was like, dude, you did your thing. Don't worry that you can't get this cat. I got you. Well, then I walk in the room and I can't get this cat. I had to call animal control. She was crazy.
Just didn't want to be contained?
No. And usually cats will run from me, and I've got my gloves on. I've got, this cat was running at me, scaring me half to death. So I took this video and shared it with the text group because most of us were like, what's wrong with this kid? Just put the cat in the trap.
Right. Just grab the cat by the neck, throw it in the thing.
You got this. Like, what do you need us for? Oh my gosh. When I saw what I saw, I wanted to show everybody, hey guys, it's not the kid. This cat's crazy. And animal control got there. And the next thing I know, me and the animal control guy are zipping it up in a net because I knew we needed a net. There was nothing I could do and I'm 5'3". So this cat was on the top bunk bed. So there was it was just crazy. So, but that video that I took went viral. It was hilarious. 6 million views. We have 10,000 followers now because of that one
wonderful.
Cat.
And did it help bring anything in to help sustain the organization?
There was a couple adoptions. People found me And I think I might have had maybe 400 followers on TikTok before that.
Wow.
And I found out a lot of people are just like, what's your Instagram? And I'm 52 years old. I'm using Facebook religiously, but I really need to start doing more, not having a website, but using my social media in a better way to reach adopters.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This is just my opinion, which is worth exactly what you paid for it.
Yeah.
Websites are great, but
Yes.
you're meeting people where they are, which is social media. And I think that as long as you're getting the cats that are available out in front of people, that's all that really matters.
Yes.
And I feel quite certain, though it's not my area of expertise, that there's one or two people looking at it.
Yeah. Well, without much help and without much, advertising, no store to go in. Last
Right.
year, I adopted out and saved over 100 cats.
All by yourself.
Yes.
So let me ask the most burning question that occurs to me. And I've got a lot of questions, but the one that occurs to me is, how can people help?
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so many ways to help me and the rescue. Anything from just coming over and cuddling. I tell everybody, you can be a volunteer and just cuddle. You don't have to scoop a litter box. But if you help me clean, that would be amazing. I like the idea that people can come over, especially when I have 30 cats. There's
Sure.
just only so much of me to go around. But volunteering to do anything around the house, anything as far as transporting a kitty to surgery or a group of cats. Sometimes I'll have 15 cats going to surgery in a day.
For getting spayed or neutered.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And so vet appointments, fostering at their house. Sometimes I don't want 30 cats in my house. If I could have somebody give me a room in their house for 2 weeks, a bathroom or a bedroom, something where, I don't have room for a cat, but I've got some fosters that can kind of hang on to them, and I pay for everything. I'll give them everything they need, all the food and supplies.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people are so great. They're like, Tiff, I want to help, and part of that help is you don't have to pay for anything. I'll buy the food. So people do want to help in a great way.
So I do want to back up, because you said some days you could have as many as 15 cats going for surgery, meaning, again, to be spayed or neutered.
Yes.
Are you paying out of pocket for each one of those?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And,
do you work with a number of vets, or how do
yes,
you? Okay.
I do. I work with different clinics. Sometimes it matters, which appointments, who can see me the fastest.
Right.
And obviously price is a factor. I mean, 15 cats having surgery that day was over $2,000. And that's
Wow.
a low cost. I mean, that's just, more some of the vets charge way, way more. So we are using the lower cost spay and neuter clinics, which we have to. And we're volume clients is what we're considered. And so it is discounted, but every cat that I take care of costs me just on that surgery day, because they're getting shots, they're
Another
getting
treatment.
fixed, they're getting, a combo test, which is very important. We want to know if they have FELV or FIV. And so we are testing them for things. We're deworming them. But I spend about $225 on average for one kitty.
Wow.
So again, that, and that's just that day. When they come into my house, I'm already treating them for parasites. I'm giving them flea treatments. All that stuff costs money.
So if somebody wants to adopt, obviously Facebook is number one place to seek you out.
Yes.
And it sounds like there's some entertainment on TikTok that they can check into.
Yes.
But it sounds like any other shelter, one would assume, it sounds like these cats are all medically as up to date as is required for them to be a safe adoption, to go into a home with adults or children or what have you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Have to
that's
be.
important to make sure that everybody knows that, because again, my fear would be that people would misunderstand that it's just a very nice lady spending time to get cats homes, and it isn't. This is a legitimate shelter.
Yes.
That's making pets available. So what does it look like when someone wants to reach out to adopt? Do they have to, I assume, coordinate a time with you? Do you have any
Yes.
any permanent staff that are volunteers, or it's just all running through you?
It's all running through me. I do have some random volunteers, random people come and help me, friends, people that need, kids right now that need community service hours for school. But I don't have any regular volunteers. I have a pet sitter that comes once a day, and I'm paying her because my full-time job has me at an
Working.
office 5 days a week now. I used to
Right.
work from home and could do it all myself. But yeah, I'm very short on volunteers. So everybody that wants to adopt has to go through me. And, I have an application on my Facebook page pinned at the top. So the application is short and sweet, but it asks the questions that are important to me. The same questions Humane Society would ask you. I kind of went off of what other rescues ask on their applications. And so the application process is really easy. I'll read through it. I'll talk to the people, and then we'll schedule a visit because of my day job, I don't have anybody to show the cats for me during the day.
Wow.
And it's just me. So at night we schedule, when I worked from home more, I could
Had a little bit of flexibility.
Yes. But now it's strictly nighttime visits, weekends. I just have to get it in where I can. And
Is it rewarding?
very. I'm so exhausted. I don't know if you can see these bags under my eyes. I've never had bags under my, but I'm also 52. But it's time. I'm not going to look the same forever. But I've never been more exhausted. My body aches. I have tennis elbow from all the lifting, bending, scooping litter, but I've never been more happy in my life. I finally have something that gives me a purpose. And I didn't know I didn't have that. I literally thought I was.
That's a great observation because you didn't feel you were lacking.
No. I thought my friends all told me, Tiff, you're so lucky you're not married. Oh, you're so lucky you can do whatever you want. You're so lucky, lucky, lucky. And I just thought I'm so lucky. But, I did have the ability to kind of be selfish almost my whole life, which I'm not. I've always done.
You certainly don't come across that way.
Not at all.
You come across as someone that gives all of themselves to
I
this.
do. I'm good to my friends and family. I most of the trips I take are to visit them. Like, I'm a good human, but I didn't realize how good I could be until I started doing this, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
So in an ideal world, where would you like to see Happy Tears go or grow to? What do you have a goal that you would like to see?
Not yet, which is sad. I mean,
right now you're in day-to-day survival mode. It's not.
You're right.
It's not sad.
You're right.
It's to be expected from the place along the path that you are.
You're right. Absolutely. No, I keep saying I don't want to get big, but I sure would like to have some place that's not my bedrooms in my house, but close by to take care of the animals and do what I do. If I were to dream something up that would be perfect for me, would be to have a couple acres of land somewhere not too far, because I still have to work in corporate America, but to have like some kind of a facility on my property to do the same thing I'm doing, but not have these cats, they're great. They're
Let them
sweet,
have their own space.
but they're messy. I mean, it's like sometimes I come out of my bedroom and I can smell in one of the rooms like, okay, I got to go change a litter box out in there. I'm exhausted from having it right there in my house. And, I just had to paint. It cost me thousands of dollars to paint my house, which I would have never had to paint my house if I didn't have this going on. And I had to pay for that out of my pocket. And
Right.
so I built a enclosure behind my house, which HOA had to approve. And it was one of these enclosures that I built for the crazy cat on TikTok. Her name's Luna, by the way. And then I called her Luna TikTok because she got so famous on TikTok. And so
She'll get sponsorship deals soon.
yeah, I know, right? She really should. And she's still with me. I don't know if I'm ever going to adopt that cat out, but I built an outdoor enclosure for her. And it wasn't just for her, it was for cats like her. And I spent about $8,000 building this out of my own pocket. I did get some donations. People, saw that I was doing it and helped donate. I got about $3,000 to $4,000 in donations,
So
which was helpful.
Some,
absolutely.
Sure.
And so this outdoor enclosure I built for feral cats, because when I bring a feral cat in my house, this is going to tie and make sense in a second. They start tearing my house up because they're so upset that they've been brought inside. I had a cat take down one of my light fixtures because he was so upset that he was brought in a house that he just jumped up on the light fixture, pulled it out of the wall. Lights went out. It was dark. I was like, it was crazy. So there's just things that I need to do to keep my house from being torn up and destructed.
And for your own mental well-being too, I'm sure.
Yes.
So if people listening want to help,
yes,
what is the best way for them to help you?
Well, my Facebook page, I have, all my links. So donations, are great.
So is it for Happy Tears or is it for you personally?
Oh, no, never.
No, I mean, how do they find you on Facebook?
Right. So, I'm sorry. Yes, I do have a Happy Tears Feline Foundation page on Facebook.
I just want to make sure people know what to look for.
Yes. Send me spa treatments, but yeah. But everything else goes to the kitties, right? So, Happy Tears has Facebook.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I've usually got my links for, we can take credit card donations through Zeffy.
Okay.
There's a whole link for that. You can actually do, if somebody wanted to do a monthly donation or just a one-time donation, that's a great thing. And Zeffy gives you a perfect receipt for your taxes. Everything anybody gives me is tax deductible.
And we will post all of these links when we publish the story as well. But there's Facebook, and you had told me that there's an Amazon wish list.
Yes, there's Amazon and Chewy. There's
Okay.
people that love to shop both places, so we did both places. Amazon wish list, there's Chewy wish list. Both of them have anything from cleaning supplies. As we know, we do a lot of cleaning, but food, litter, medications that we can buy through Amazon, things like that. Toys. I never have enough toys. Right now we need some cat towers, and we need some of those great little shelves that go on the walls to, let the cats play and have less things
And
on
be
the floor.
cats.
Exactly. Like let them get up high like they want to,
Right.
And so, but the wish list is full of just great things we need and fun things, as well as the necessities.
Do you have any events coming up that if anybody wants to meet you in person or see some of the kitties?
I do.
We'll post them online, but if you don't mind sharing them,
yeah,
I'd love to make sure
absolutely.
people know that they're coming up.
So I've just started working with Hollywood Feed, and they're a great store. A lot of people think they're a feed store, like livestock. It's like, no. This is a holistic pet food store with toys and everything for dogs and cats. And so it's a wonderful store, and they have really, really good products.
That's great.
So I hope I'm allowed to plug them.
Absolutely. We want to do it. And if you know anybody there that'd like to come on, we'd
Yes.
love to get them on too.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Let's focus on those who help.
Yes, and they are a huge help to me. Probably every time I go there, they've got stuff for me that's either
very
about to
kind.
expire, so they're really giving. But yeah, November 1st, Hollywood Feed on Sandy Plains Road in Marietta. I'm going to be there in the afternoon, probably from like noon to 5, doing an adoption event. So I'll have some of my kitties there and myself and maybe a couple volunteers. And then on November 9th, I'm going to be at the Hollywood Feed in Roswell on Highway 92.
I know where I've driven by that one many times.
Yeah. And so, both of these days are special. It's a chance for my cats to actually be seen. They can't be seen when they're sitting in my house. And my thing is, I don't want them in a pet store every day of the week. And so that's why I don't mind tearing up my house, because these cats of mine are different. They're learning how to be in a house. They know what a TV sounds like. They know
Do they get along all right?
They love each other.
Really?
And they love me. And it's when I walk in a room, there's one room right now that has a king size bed in it. And I lay on that bed and I have 6 cats crawling all over me. And they love me so much. And it's funny. My pet sitter asked me about that yesterday. Like, how do you get them all to get along? And it's just like, And I've never been trained in this stuff. I don't know.
I'm sure they work out, they're largely, I presume I've had cats most of my life. They're largely solitary animals.
Yeah.
And they tolerate one another.
Yeah.
Sometimes they become friends, but, we as humans anthropomorphize it. They'll hang out for warmth and then they're gone.
It's so true. No, these cats, they really do love each other. I think they're having a good time. They're eating good food. They're being treated well, but they do get along. So it's crazy to me.
This is really the most burning question I have. Mm-hmm. What does Kiki think of all of this?
Oh man, she's so angry. I'm actually taking her to the vet today. This is how sad my life is. I'm almost afraid to say this, but I'm going to say it. I have worked so hard for 2.5 years with the rescue that I haven't even taken my own kitty to the vet. And she's healthy and good, but lately she's doing that thing she did that my friend didn't like. And that's she's not using the bathroom where she's supposed to use it. She's sometimes
that's
trying
a message.
to send me a message.
Right?
Yes. And so she's going to the vet today to get all caught up on her stuff. And she's very healthy. She's very sweet. And her boyfriend, I say Coco, I have Kiki and Coco. I got a second cat. And they're both going to the vet today. But Coco doesn't care. Coco is my beautiful black cat who I wish I could clone him 10 times. But Kiki is the spicy, sassy one. But she loves people. She just can't stand these kitties in the house. And I think she's at the point where 30's a little much, Mommy, and
it sounds to me like she's enslaved you and had you build her a queendom.
Yes. I mean, she's running the house. I'm not. I'm running the rescue. She's running the house.
All these cats work for her as far as she's concerned.
Yes. She's so mean that I think if a mother cat was giving birth and a brand new baby kitten came out, she'd hiss at it.
Nothing but love out of cats.
Yes.
But I can't thank you enough for what you're doing.
Thank you.
If no one else has said it, you are doing a very good thing.
Yeah, thank you.
And every animal deserves love, and every animal deserves a forever home.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask the question, but I feel like I need to, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Mm-hmm. I presume you are a no-kill shelter?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I had to ask that question because it's hard to believe that they still exist.
Right.
But
I know.
That's a different discussion.
Absolutely.
But I'm not surprised to learn, as I imagine that would be unthinkable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else that we can do to help? Is there any? We'll have all the links up. We'll have the wish lists up from Chewy and from Amazon. If you want to volunteer, reach out via Facebook.
Facebook or email. Our email is happytearsff@gmail.com. And that's like Happy Tears Feline Foundation.
Gotcha.
We just had to shorten that. I can't do a whole email address with that.
Yeah, that'd be a long one. Speaking as someone with a long last name,
mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yes. There is one more story
please,
I could share with you. There's a big need. There's two big needs that we have. And, I mentioned the tennis elbow earlier. And so I'm getting to the point where I really would like to do a fundraiser or find some help getting litter robots, because those are the things that scoop themselves.
Yep.
There's just so many, I need about 5 litter robots. So we're trying to figure that out right now. We kind of determined that recently because I was a little scared, of those robotic,
As I understand it, they sort of have a waiting period so that the cat doesn't freak out.
Exactly.
After it leaves.
Yes. And they are, most of them are safe. So I've tried one out with my own personal cats. And I thought, my goodness, if I could have one of these in the rescue rooms, it would be amazing and would take so much work off of me. It's so hard to scoop all that litter for that many cats three times a day.
What do they cost?
They're around, I've seen them from anywhere from $400 to $700.
Okay, so
they're pricey.
It's about $4,000 worth of fundraising.
Yes, exactly. And then
anybody listening that's feeling generous,
I know, right? I mean, it would be so helpful to have those. That would take some real heat off of me as far as the cleaning duties. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you, this is a huge need for us. We need a truck. I'm going to tell you what happened.
What type of truck?
Oh, an open bed pickup truck.
Okay.
So I had a truck. When I first started rescuing, I had a 16-year-old Nissan Frontier. That was my truck I'd had for 16 years. And I thought, this is what I use, for all the rescue stuff. Like, I already have what I need. About this, it was July of 2023 when I first really started the rescue.
Okay.
I went during a storm to go rescue a kitten. And this kitten was in an apartment complex. And as soon as we got a hold of the kitten, got it in the truck, this terrible storm took over. It was over here in Woodstock. We were in Canton. And I was coming back, and the lights were out. The storm was so bad. The water was, flooded in the streets. I ended up taking an exit that I don't normally take, and I got on a side street instead of going to Sixes Road. And somebody hit me in an intersection and totaled the truck. And so the truck, being 16 years old, had been paid for years.
Right.
And so I have started trying to think of ways that maybe someone could donate a truck that they don't need anymore. Or maybe a dealership has a truck they can't sell and it's a tax write-off. I don't know how any of that works, but I've started trying to brainstorm. And if anyone has any thoughts of how we could get help getting a truck, because I ended up buying a small SUV, which, now I have a car payment that I didn't have before.
And how many cats fit in a small SUV?
That's right. I mean, seriously. And it's, and it's not just the cats. There are so many opportunities I miss not having a truck, like the stores that I go to, to do adoption events. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be packed up to take to these events. Right. There's also chances that I can get litter and food and items
in larger bulk.
Yes. And I can get it so cheap and make a donation myself, but I can't haul it. I've tried it a couple times in my SUV, and I've actually damaged the, I don't know if it's particle board or whatever it is that's in the back of an SUV, but it's
just
bent.
Too much weight.
Yes. So I tried to get 1,000 pounds of litter and found out I shouldn't have put that in my SUV. But, things like that, I desperately need a truck, and I can't afford it. There's trucks are so expensive. And
for anybody else that hears this, that just has information they can share.
Yes.
That information would be beneficial, because we all have opinions, but we need more than an opinion. We need someone who says, oh, I know this about a charity. And I personally know a couple of folks in the nonprofit world. I'll ask them for some guidance to see if they can offer any. But if anyone that's hearing it knows something that would help Tiffany with this, please reach out via the channels we've mentioned, because just that information alone has huge value.
Yes. And, but you know what? Nobody got hurt. The kitten was saved. We even named him T-Bone.
And did he go to a good home?
He went to an amazing home. In fact, I asked about him recently because he's a couple years old, and I started thinking about the need for this truck and thinking, you know what? What's going on with T-Bone now that I'm thinking about this need for a truck? And somebody that helped get him adopted out sent me some great photo. I mean, he's living his best life, and he's one of those beautiful white kitties that has a green eye and a blue eye. He's a stunner. It was worth it. I will just say.
That's quite a statement.
I miss my truck. I need a truck desperately, but that kitty was worth it.
We'll see what we can do to help. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your stories. And we will do everything we can to try to raise awareness and get folks out to the adoption days. All of that will be on our site when we publish, and all of that is obviously available through Tiffany's Facebook page, or I should say the Happy Tears Cat Rescue Facebook page. I want to make sure I delineate.
Yes.
My guest today has been Tiffany Collins, and I can't say enough. But before I remind everyone about Tiffany, I want to remind you with the name Happy Tears Cat Rescue, because that's the nonprofit that she's founded, and it's dedicated to saving and fostering and rehoming cats across not just Cherokee County, but beyond. As you heard in some of her stories, she's done a little bit of traveling. And what began as a single rescue quickly turned into a mission fueled by nothing but love, compassion, and persistence. Tiffany balances her own demanding career with leading this all volunteer-driven rescue operation. And if there's anything anybody can do, please reach out and do so. I can't thank you enough for your time and for your willingness to share your story.
Thank you so much. This is a big deal for me, and just you having time for me is incredible. I hope this...
We hope you'll come back and we'll find more things to share.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Absolutely our pleasure. So I just want to remind everyone that today's episode is brought to you in part by the Community Partner Program, the Business Radio X Main Street Warriors, defending capitalism, promoting small business, and supporting our local community. For more information, please go to mainstreetwarriors.org. And a special note of thanks to our title sponsor for the Cherokee chapter of Main Street Warriors, Diesel David Inc. Please go check them out at dieseldavid.com. Again, my name is Joshua Kornitsky. I'm a professional EOS implementer and the host here at Cherokee Business Radio. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.